Ballin' like the Pac-Man. Ballin' like the Pac, ballin' like the Pac-Man. Ballin' like the Pac, ballin' like the Pac-Man. Ballin' like the Pac-Man, ballin' like the Pac-Man.
Is there a day that goes by where we aren't streaming these days? Is there? Well, yes. Yesterday we didn't stream. So to answer your question, yes. But we're here again, one day later. Because we don't miss, besides that one time, like yesterday. And 2 days before that. But we're here. We have a Coke Zero. Because is there really any greater companion? No, there isn't. How we going? I hope we're doing good. As a collective. Mayoy. Daddy Diesel. Flaming Gamer. It's my time. Jesus Christ, there's an old face. There he is. See you later, Twitch Gamer. You're not good, Nitro? Well, we're gonna raise you up, dude. That's just what we... Do you want to know something really fucked up as well? Well, not fucked up. It's actually kind of nice, but somebody... I always have the lo-fi girl thing open to play the lo-fi in the background, you know? Somebody just donated $200 to the lo-fi chat. That's some fucking dedication right there. It has gotten through people... it has gotten people through many a study session, though, so I'm sure they deserve it. That's okay, it's my time. They were some pretty damn juicy streams. Currently experiencing Bloodborne in real life because I've got the big COVID. Nitro caught the COVID. This just proves that all of us are susceptible. I hope you get over it alright, dude. It was a fucking pain in the ass to get over for me. It took like a week and a half. Yeah, I hope you fucking recover soon. It's not very nice, I'll tell you that. As you are currently experiencing. It's 3 a.m. sim. We gotta start doing those morning streams again, dude. Not the goblin virus. I honestly thought when I had COVID I didn't have COVID, at least right at the beginning of it. Oh, congrats, Josh. Jesus. As I said, man, I hate moving. I hate it. It's like my least favorite activity. There's nothing worse. Taking down a bed and then rearranging it into another room, don't like it. Having to take it down and put it up, my least favorite part of being a human being. Nitro's just getting gang bashed while he's got COVID. Mine was like very... The cough didn't come until later, so that's why I thought I had goblin virus. And then as symptoms progressed and sort of revealed themselves, it was not goblin virus, it was indeed the big C. I feel like I got lucky for 2 years and didn't get it. And then, yeah, just fucking like right on the tail end of it when everybody's kind of over the topic, I got it. And hearing more and more people sort of catching it on the tail end of all of that. You guys can't hear the lo-fi this whole time. Well, there we go. Now we can vibe along together. Isn't that beautiful? It's because I still had audio output capture muted because I'm incompetent. Yeah, furniture construction is just the fucking... Oh, mate, I'll tell you what. I don't like it. Eventually everyone's gonna get it. Probably more people have had it than what have even felt, like, sick, because you can be, like, completely asymptomatic. So, everybody's gonna have it one way or another at some point, most likely, yeah. I will not rest until Eyezayar gives his opinion on brie cheese. I'm not... Let me look brie cheese up real quick. Brie cheese. Brie Larson. That's unfortunate, dude. Yeah, no, that looks fucking nasty as hell, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you. That looks... I'm more of a block of Bega cheese kind of fella, you know? This looks like it has been left in the cupboard too long. And you're meant to put cheese in the fridge, so my point stands even stronger. Am I gonna be killed for thinking such a thing? 5:18 a.m. I know, man. It's almost as if the entire world doesn't exist on the same time zone. I just can't wrap my head around it. It's unfathomable. Why? Sorry, that sounded like I was being an asshole. 5:18 a.m. for you, 5:18 a.m. for me, no matter what. We're in this together, Kanos. We're in this together. It's currently 8:18 p.m. for me. Yeah, anyway, thought I'd jump on for a little bit because streaming is just in my veins today. No, yeah, I get you. Kanos, don't even worry about it, dude. I'm just being silly. Just playing a game of silly buggers. I'm only gonna stay for an hour or so because I need to edit. Editing has been going good, in case you were wondering. But and I know I always say just an hour, but I mean it this time, for the love of Christ. Nitro is about to pass away, so I believe the gaming should begin in some way. Lucas Heaver is continuing the gift sub they got from Zanyverse. That's what we're talking about. Can you guys see that? I hope so. That's dedication right there. Thanks so much, dude. Heading back to uni right now. Glad to have your voice as company on my drive. Am I coming through a sound system right now? Am I coming through a through a stereo system right now? Am I replacing the radio? Am I a direct competition to the radio right now? The networks hate me. Hell yeah. When you pull up to a stoplight, wind your window down so I can say hello to the beautiful people beside you. Eyezayar, are you aware that it's the 1-year anniversary of the last TGB episode? Yeah, I actually saw a comment of that this morning, and it just made me feel like shit. I'm trying to forget, dude. In good news, I guess you could say, Easy Speezy, is that the speedrun dude's name? Easy Speezy? Easy Speezy. Oh, yeah. So he came up in my recommended, and he's like this speedrun guy who like speedruns pretty much every game that comes out. Like he must spend a little bit of time roughly learning the speedrun and then going in and doing a run of his own. I don't know like how competitive you could really get with a one-off speedrun, but I suppose he's pretty experienced with speedrunning, so I don't know. Anyway, his thing is that he speedruns different games, and he just released a video 5 days ago where he did a speedrun of Lego Batman, and the video is like popping off at the moment, right? And it was a really good video. Anyway, because of that, like the fucking succubus that I am, the Lego Batman ranking video that I made about a month ago, it must be getting recommended off his video. because like that video has just had like, it's just shot up in like 20k views since the last fucking, what you call it, since the last sort of blow up, and in the last 5 days I should say of that guy's video. So we're just out we're just out here unintentionally leeching, so that's pretty epic. Yeah. So there you go, the YouTube algorithm's on our side, nobody can stop us. I thought that was pretty funny though. I was like wondering, I was like, I swear this video was at 280k, and then I realized it had shot up, and I was like, I wonder why. And then that afternoon I saw that video from 5 days ago, and I was like, makes fucking sense. We're on the passive leech, dude. So shout out to Easy Speezy. He's helping us without even knowing, which is really just quite possibly the most epic thing you could do for the people. So yeah, his like, I'm going through his videos now. No wonder, it's something about just the photo of the game and then the little speedrun counter in the corner is very appealing to look at. It's almost ominous. They're very clickable videos, even though they're very simple thumbnails. I respect it. Very cool. How long has he been doing YouTube stuff, I wonder? Oh, a long time. Jesus Christ. It's always interesting whenever I find like a YouTuber of some sort that's kind of like popping off. I go like to their oldest video, and it's like sometimes they've been doing the same thing for a really long time, but sometimes you go back and it's just the most different it possibly could be. I wonder when his first speedrun video was. I'm fascinated. Oh, he was doing challenge video. Holy shit, wait, did he only just sort of start? Oh, a year ago. God damn. The come up is real. Epic. Maybe he got inspired by you and your bread collecting skills. I am a world-renowned bread collector, so possibly. New video when? Okay, here's the deal. I'm working on my part of another person's video who's coming out soon. They're doing it's Zany, by the way, I should say. Everybody knows Zany here, or most people. So he's doing a video where he's basically he's collaborating with like 19 other people or something crazy, and he's been working on it for a while. He's basically getting everybody to review one licensed Lego game. So like not like the 1990 fucking Lego Island stuff, but like any Lego game that is you know, tied to a franchise or something. He's getting one person to review each one. So there's like 19 of us at this point, I think. It is due tomorrow that I need to send him my part. The Zany. So I'm working on that at the moment, and I have been very slow with everything else. But after that, I go back to properly focusing on what I'm doing next. I've only got like a 6-minute segment, 5 or 6 minute segment, but it's cool. Yeah, I got to do the first Lego Batman, so I'm very happy about that. And I also realized while working on it how little I have played of like Lego games in general. We've talked about this before, but I've played like 6 out of 19 licensed Lego games. It's fucking crazy. How even? I don't get that. I've played like the OGs, and I mentioned this in my script. I'm glad that I've played like the ones that most people seem to have like a connection with the most. Like apparently I've missed some classics, but yeah, there's like, yeah, I don't know, there's something like 16 that I've missed or something. Never played, let me get a list up real quick. I never played like Lego Lord of the Rings. I swear we've talked about this like 50 times, but it's really come back into my thinking now that I'm making that video properly, and have been for like the last couple of days. yeah, hang on. So the ones that I've played, sorry, I've got like a list here. The ones that I've played are Lego Batman, Lego Batman 2, Harry Potter Years 1 to 4, Lego Indiana Jones, Lego Marvel Avengers, Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, and then that's... Oh, and I've played Lego City Undercover, but that's not in the list of things that are getting reviewed. But yeah, those are all that I've played. I haven't played Lego Movie video game, Lego Hobbit, Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens, Lego Star Wars The Clone Wars, Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, Ninjago movie video game, Lego Movie Game 2, Lego Marvel Superheroes, Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, Lego Lord of the Rings, Lego Jurassic World, Lego Indiana Jones 2, Lego The Incredibles, Lego Harry Potter Years 5 to 7, Lego DC Supervillains, and nobody lets me forget this one, Lego Batman 3. Never played those. So, yeah. Pretty despicable. Am I in a position to really say, as I so often voice this opinion, I say Lego Batman 1 is the best Lego video game, but am I really in a position to say that? Well, absolutely, because it just is. It's so clear. 6 out of whatever it is, 19, that's not bad. That's enough to formulate an opinion. Not really, that's fucking insane. Eyezayar thought I'd drop in and say hello. I sadly can't stay too long since I've got school to go to, but we've talked about copious Lego games that you haven't played. Yes, we have. Thanks, ladies, man. Have a good one, dude. Yeah, so anyway, making that video and then this most long-winded answer ever. But yes, after that, back to regular stuff, I guess. I'm glad that I had a deadline for the Zany project because it's kind of kicked me back into editing mode. And I'm kind of comfortable sitting at my desk for 6 hours at least to like put a dent in it, you know what I mean? Don't play Lego Batman at 3 a.m. Cursed content. The new ones are kind of okay, but Batman Lego had it all. That's how I feel. So I think that when Lego Avengers came out and I played it around that time or something, I think that when I played that, because I disliked it so much, it wasn't even that I disliked it, it just felt so plain, and like the game's already run off the same formula for every game, so you kind of need something to like keep you there, especially when you're older. And so there just it was not doing anything for me. It was like the environments looked cheap, they were bland, the voice acting was like weird. It felt like it just felt really soulless, and I hate that. I can't stand like it's just got that vibe to it that I feel like from the looks of a couple of them, and yeah, the open world feels super awkward. It felt like it just kind of shouldn't have even been there, and you can't really say that comfortably when the whole game is kind of centered around it. It's like the open world just felt like a hub world, and it was awkward. It was weird. There was no voice acting at all in Lego Avengers. This uses voice clips from the movies. Really? That's not how I remember it. Is that true? No, because you talk to like... In Lego Avengers, you go around the city and you talk to like fucking different Marvel characters and shit. And it was like... It was just... Everything was awkward about it. I wasn't a fan. Anyway. Yeah, I'm sure there was voice acting. I remember hearing Moon Knight talk, and it was like I was talking to some fucking, like, 56-year-old Moon Knight impersonator. I don't know why he was 56. It's just the vibe I was getting. Oh, yeah, the main missions were fine, but, yeah, it wasn't anything like... Whenever I... Yeah, I'm pretty sure... Hang on, let me make sure I'm even talking... I'm pretty sure I'm talking about the right game. I always get like one or two of them confused. One of the Marvel ones. It was like Lego Marvel Avengers. Is there a Lego Marvel Avengers 2 or something? Let me see. I'm pretty sure it's the one that I'm thinking of. Is it? Yep, and they're going through the snow at the start, and then you go to the open world. You start off in the... Before you go to the open world, you start off in the boxing gym as Mr. Captain America, I think. Yes. Yes. Garbito. I think this is... Yeah, this is the one. Is this the one? I'm so confused. It's so, like, unmemorable to me. I think this is it. Anyway. I don't think it was Lego Marvel Superheroes, because I hear that's great. Anyway, well, basically what I'm saying is, I feel like Lego Batman 1, despite being so old now, has aged so gracefully. It's because they focus so much less on making it like, I don't know, they just, it's like they went into it and they had like a proper vision for this game specifically, and it just so happened to have the Lego formula that they built it around, but everything else felt very original and very sort of inspired, whereas the other ones are just like, now it's a 3D platformer that looks cheap and just happens to be Lego. And you can't really lean on the crutch of it just being Lego, because the formula is the same gameplay-wise every game. So you got to have a little something extra to sort of get me interested, you know? See you later, Flaming Gamer. Have a good one, dude. Thanks for stopping in. Lego Worlds is kind of fun. Yeah, I heard about Lego Worlds. I'm still shocked by how little of the Lego franchise I've played. But I mean, I don't feel like I'm missing too much. The ones that I really think I'm missing out on, and this is purely on like snippets that I've seen and things that I've heard. Apparently I'm really missing out on Lego DC Supervillains, which I will eventually do, I think, most likely. Never say never, but never say definitely. I don't know about Lego Harry Potter 5 to 7. 1 to 4 was pretty good. I don't know about the Incredibles. I think that's kind of hit or miss for people. Lego Indiana Jones 2, I don't think I'm missing out on anything there. It's like the one that people talk the most shit about. Don't know about Lego Jurassic World. Lord of the Rings actually looks really cool. I've never seen any gameplay, but the cover looks really nice. So, I mean, you sold me there. I hear Lego Marvel Superheroes is pretty damn good. I hear 2 is less so. I literally know nothing about Lego Movie Game 1 and 2. I didn't even know they existed until I was researching for this video or something. Don't know anything about Ninjago. Like, Pirates of the Caribbean interests me the least out of like any fucking franchise. So I probably wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot barge pole because I just don't care. People probably fucking crucify me for saying that, but I just don't. I never liked the movie that I saw when I was a kid, one of them, so just left a sour taste in my mouth. Clone Wars, I remember that having kind of like a different art style while still being Lego, so maybe that would be kind of cool to check out, I think. I remember watching a friend play that when I was younger, and he was a hog, so he never gave me a turn. So here I am not being able to give you an informed opinion. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. The Force Awakens, I haven't seen a single thing on. The Hobbit, again, really cool cover. I've never seen Lord of the Rings, so I couldn't tell you how interested I am, but it looks cool. And then the rest, I'm kind of just like, yeah, I don't know. I've got Lego Supervillains and Lego Batman 3. I just haven't like started videos on them. Yeah. There we go. The Lego opinions come rolling out. I just think like I'm going to talk about it in more depth in the video, or as much depth as I can sort of fit into 6 minutes. But tell us the address of your friend. I have not spoken to that friend in like 10 years, probably. No, I'm not that old. Like 8 years I haven't spoken. No, I'm not even that old. Like 7 years I haven't talked to that friend. It was one of those situations where you just completely go like the opposite direction sometime in like your early teens. So we just went yink in other directions, and yeah. But he didn't give me a fucking turn of Clone Wars, so it was doomed from the start, if you ask me. Lego Batman 1, Star Wars The Complete Saga, Indiana Jones 1, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars 3. See, that is a J.R. Milton. That's what I see more often than not. I always see people, like, I feel like the big three for people, and it may be nostalgia influence, but I genuinely think they're fucking great games, so it wouldn't surprise me. They had a lot of heart, is Lego Batman 1, Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, Lego Indiana Jones 1. Those are the three that I see, like, they're god tier, you know? Lego Indiana Jones was surprisingly a little... It felt way more dated than Lego Batman did. Maybe it had, like, a lower budget or something? But going back through it recently, I was... And sort of seeing it with completely fresh eyes, because I didn't remember much of it at all. Yeah, I think maybe it had a low sort of budget compared to Lego Batman. It would make sense that they would give Batman like the biggest budget, because obviously, but Pirates of the Caribbean is fun if you like the movies. If not, it's mediocre. Yeah, and the thing is, I like pirates as a genre, I guess. Like, I like the idea of, like, Black Flag. I never played all of it, but I like that idea. It's always cool if it's done right. But I never liked Pirates of the Caribbean. People used to talk about it like it was a fucking godsend, and I just didn't get it. You never got to play Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga. It is a sad story. That game blew my mind when I first played it. I didn't know much about Star Wars, but I really liked Star Wars when I was a kid, if that makes any sense. When I was really young, I was just I would watch the movies and just wait for like a lightsaber battle while they spoke in a room for 35 minutes at a time. And I have never watched the movies again as I've gotten older, so I should probably do that. Loved the Lego game, obviously. I first played Lego Star Wars on the Wii, and I gave the motion controls more credit than they deserved, because I thought, I'm actually controlling this fucking lightsaber right now. Like, the direction I swing is the direction the lightsaber is going to go. And while that made the whole experience way more fun for me, I look back on that and I think, no. When I could have fucking dangled that Wii remote in between my legs and just, like, let it swing, and it would have just done the exact same shit. But anyway, it was fascinating to me. What? Unholy impact, hello? He's just spitting facts in chat right now. My brother treated the lava fight from Star Wars as religion. I can't even remember who fights in that. Obi-Wan and Anakin? Right? I remember being shocked at the scene in Lego Star Wars when, well, not shocked, but I was like, holy shit. When, spoilers, Darth Maul chopped in half. That was gaming. That was perhaps gaming in its purest form, if you ask me. I had a Kinect for a while. What a weird phase of games and stuff. I'm sure there's like 50 videos on that topic. That was so weird. I remember like getting a Kinect on like Rent to Buy or something. And I fucking loved it, but apparently it was garbage. So again, looking back fondly and not really realizing, I suppose. Yeah. He doesn't know the sacred fight. I'm telling you, dude. The thing that I liked about Star Wars was the characters and the character designs when I was a kid. Because I'd have the Lego, the toys, you know. Oh, you remember, like, you go to the shop and there's this tiny little toy in a box. It's probably like the height of a mug, right? And they would come with like one helmet, one weapon, these little action figures, and there'd be like $25 for one of them. That was not gaming. Yeah, I wonder like where VR is gonna go, if it's just gonna stay I wouldn't even say it's gimmicky at the moment. It's just not like widely accessible, I suppose, because it's fucking really expensive. So I think people see it as a gimmick at the moment and underestimate how good the tech is right now. But like, if you're not really in the gaming space, I suppose. Yeah, I used to love the character creators in Lego games too. I actually use the character creator in the Zany collaboration to do a joke, but I'm not gonna spoil that. It's like the first time I've used it since we made... I went there and then realized sometime during those villain mission streams, I created Western Jesus using the fucking character creator. Very, very odd. My dad had one go at Superhot VR and changed his mind in 2 minutes flat. Oh yeah, there's certain games that are like super suited to it for sure. We haven't gamed yet, John. You got me. Why did I start doing YouTube? Escaped Galaxy? Oh man, well, I mean, like, I feel like the reason most people start is because they see people that they enjoy watching and they're like, hey, I want to try that. And then if you sort of get any sort of good reception, then you get highly motivated to keep doing it because it feels good for people to watch what you make. So that's pretty much what I did. I made videos for ages in my teens that like nobody watched, and I just kept doing it because it was fun. But the enjoyment of it like skyrocketed as soon as people started watching it and giving their thoughts on it, and sort of you know, you start having like jokes on the channel, and all of that just made it so much more fun. So the reason I started and the reason I kept going were pretty much one and the same. But yeah, I remember the thing that made me start doing the character analysis stuff, and I've said this a bunch of times, but it was fortunate around that time that I was watching Nakey Jakey, because he was uploading quite a lot at this point. And I watched this. I think the video was a little bit older at the time, but I distinctly remember it was close to when Red Dead 2 was going to come out, and I watched his video about it was the Rockstar skating game, and for some reason that video I was just like, I'm gonna start making some fucking videos too. This looks gaming. And then Red Dead 2 came out, and then I made the character analysis, and the rest is history. I mean, I've never uploaded a lot, but I upload a lot less at the moment. But I'm just constantly trying to get in the swing, you know? But yeah, it was fortunate. I think I would have eventually kept doing it anyway, because I'd done it for such a long time, but I knew like once I finished school, I was going to try and do it more, obviously with more time. How do I feel that Dark Viper doesn't like Red Dead? Indifferent. Besides, so, like, you know, you like what you like and you dislike what you dislike. The only, and a lot of what he says are jokes about the game anyway, so it's just funny most of the time. But the only thing I disagree with, usually when the topic comes up, the thing that he isn't joking about is his stance on, there's no, like, this isn't verbatim, but he often says, like, there's no story that can be told better as a video game that wouldn't suit a book or a movie better. And I don't understand that stance at all. But you're allowed to have your opinion, you know? You're allowed to think what you want to think. And a lot of his criticisms criticisms about the game I have come around on more after playing the game. But I play the game in a really grueling way half the time, so I don't know how that is for me. But it's not designed for challenge runs. But I think Red Dead 2, while it is still one of my favorite games, and I think it's technically like incredible, and like, you know, obviously super far ahead of pretty much every open world game on the market. What was I saying? While I think it's like that, I kind of can't get over the fact, after replaying it in a bunch of, or trying to replay it in a bunch of different ways so many times, just how on the rails it is in terms of gameplay. It is just like, yeah, it's not even like I think there should be branching paths, but they give you so many tools, and then they just don't really ever want to let you fully explore the tools, and all it needs is just a little bit more openness, and it would be completely my type of, obviously it's my thing, like I love the game, but it would be a lot more close to the thing I think it was trying to do in that respect. It just it needs a little bit more opportunity to sprinkle your own sort of flavor in, you know what I mean? Like, even just not using a pistol and a rifle combination in the game just feels, it just doesn't want you to do it. It doesn't want you to like mix things up, really. Like, you try to use different things in different areas, and sometimes you're completely blocked off, or it just doesn't make sense, like in terms of what you're doing gameplay wise. It just isn't viable, you know. But yeah, Jakey's skateboarding video is my go-to when I want something quick to watch. I'm glad to hear that it played a role in your channel too. Oh, dude, it's such a fucking good video. So many of his videos are just like classics, dude. And you just, it reminds me of Donkey so much. And I know Donkey is Jakey's quite inspired by Donkey as well. I mean, who isn't at this point? But Donkey has, he reminds me in the sense that Donkey has so many videos where it's just like, you see it re-recommended to you, or you just remember a joke from it and find the video again, and so many of them are just classics. They just go down in history, and it's just good stuff. I think his problem was more with bloat than anything. Like, he played 40 hours but still didn't finish it. I can see that. Like, oh, yeah, the game is fucking long, dude, and it's like, there's certain things that you just like can't even do because you can't play through it quickly or anything. It's very, of course, because it's on the rails. Like, even playing Bloodborne for the first time made me realize how big a game can be without having the need for every playthrough doesn't need to be 40 hours long. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. But I always try to take a project of any, or a creation of any sort for what it is. And they weren't trying to do that kind of thing. And so I sort of have to look at it through their lens of when they were making it. And there's just, it's made the way it is. Doesn't mean there's not mistakes or flaws, but it's just made the way it is because of the things that they set out to do. But it is a really fucking long game. It goes down as one of my favorite games ever, but it's not one of my favorite games ever to just pick up and play, if that makes sense. I feel like I can never really just pick up and play Red Dead 2, because you got to kind of be in that ready to sit, be there for hours to make some bit of progress. You know what I mean? See you later, Blenny. Have a good one, dude. Get some farewells for Blenny. Big Blenny. I literally went back and watched Donkey's Tony Hawk video today because I remembered a funny quote from it. I'm telling you, dude, how good is it? He's got such a good approach to making videos. Like, it's there's such a good flavor to his. Jesus Christ, my pop filter. No. I threw away the straps that you put on a pop filter when you get it, thinking that it was garbage, and I regret that a lot. My best time for Bloodborne all bosses is 7 hours. You're a psychopath. You're a psychopath. Yeah, no, Donkey's humor is just Lovely. And I like that every now and again, he'll just release a video that is just like... There's a certain, like, type of variety he has. I love that you just never know what he's going to upload, but also, sometimes he'll just upload some completely, like, jokeless analysis on something, and those are, like, some of my favorites from him, because it comes completely out of nowhere, and, it's just, like, some in-depth look at something for, like... 7 minutes or something. That's another thing that I really love, is that he manages to condense so many thoughts about a topic into like 5 minutes and still have it quite comprehensive. It's a skill that I don't fucking have, because I have the tendency to just want to ramble about every thought that I have in regards to something, and having like a Zany's limit for this for each segment of his video is 4 to 6 minutes, and so I'm fucking struggling to get it down to 6 minutes, because I just can't, it's hard. Because the way that I think is, whenever I bring up a point that, or a thought that I have on something, I immediately think of the 10 contradictory points that can technically not diminish what I'm saying, but kind of like slightly go against it. And I go, well, okay, I have to list the reasons why I think this thing, despite the contradictions. Exactly my better username. I have to, like, I can't just leave it at, this is what I think. I have to go, this is what I think because. And, like, not even that. Like, that's typically how you do it. You go, this is what I think because this. But then I have to go, and despite this, and even though that, and, you know, there was this one time in 1967 where this thing did happen, but regardless, I still think this. And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, just say you like the game. This is why I don't do review stuff, because there's always that thing back in 1967, and I don't know if any of this is making sense. I probably sound like a madman, but it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? I can't just, like, state my fucking argument or state my point and just be like, there you go, and that's what I think, and, you know, here's the reason why, but just leave all those other things, you know? Anyway, Nitro's flatlining. Sorry, Nitro, we didn't even play Bloodborne, dude. How's it been 43 minutes? Oh, I should have taken gaming out of the title. I had a feeling I would do this. The talk got a hold of me, dude. Get well soon, Nitro. Sorry you don't feel too good, dude. Can we get some farewells for Nitro? Big Nitro. Hell yeah, Yaman. Lovely to see that. Did I actually delete Discord? I did delete Discord. I never had Discord before I made and obviously got a lot of help as well, because I had no idea what I was doing, but before I made the Discord, like, what, 2 years ago? Has it been 2 years? Like, yeah, Jesus, it has. Yeah, so I didn't have Discord before that, and I didn't really use Discord, obviously, upon making it, but I also, having a little, like, using Discord a little, as much as I think it's really sick that, like, a bunch of people sort of came together and became friends through the channel, I just think I realized that I can't really, I'm not good in big group chats or anything. Not like, I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. As cool as it is, I think it's dope, but I tried for a while to sort of, like, be able to, it just, like, scrambles my brain. I don't know why. And you guys are great. But it's so much nicer being able to talk like this, I think. You know what I mean? I don't know. Jesus Christ, Nitro. He's going out with a 50, dude. He's going out with the 50 bits. Can we get some prayers, some hopes and prayers for Nitro? We may never see Nitro Rock 102 again. Jesus Christ. See you later, dude. Don't die on us. Get some Advil into you or something. Oh man, yeah, there was a couple of days when I had COVID. I felt like I was on the fucking brink of death. When it's a week and a half later and you're still, like, you still got it in full force. It's rough. Don't like it. Yeah, Discord's great, and I think most of the people there have been great too. And I say most because there's obviously been like the odd when you get a bunch of strangers together, somebody will say some stupid shit, and then somebody's gonna be really offended by that stupid shit, and you've got to like get somebody out of there, and it always just feels super weird to manage. And I don't know, that's just not me, dude. Like, I'm super glad that it's there, and if I didn't have people who just sort of like took it on and basically watched over it for me, I don't think I would have one anymore. It's just not my scene, you know. I don't think. Somebody making a Joker figure? I missed that. I'm working on a custom Joker figure and can't decide between black shirt and green tie or green shirt and black tie. Oh, that's tough. What's the sort of what would you say? What sort of Joker are you like? Is it closest to? Like a we going for a Jared Leto? Going for a Heath Ledger? Somebody gave you a sub? Yes, the gifted subs have been quite insane lately, so it wouldn't surprise me if one snuck its way over to you. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, I'm curious what the Joker, which Joker? I think you can even get gifted if you've been in the chat before, and even if you're not there presently, you can get a sneaky little sub. Kind of similar to the new 52 comic Joker. You know what's interesting about that? It's funny you say that. So I've only read as far as City of Owls for new 52 Batman. And I'm gonna buy the third one because I just finished it last night. I've read the Court of Owls like 3 times and have had the City of Owls for a long time, but for some reason I just never started it. And then I read it halfway and then I stopped. I think it's great, but I don't know, busy, whatever. And I finally read it from front to back yesterday, and it was fucking great. And yeah. See you later, Nitro. Jesus, dude. You don't whip out the yes, honey emote unless you're really serious about feeling the pain. I'm not too sure on how subs and things work, to be honest, with Twitch. I more or less got it for your channel. Oh, hell yeah. Thanks, Mavis. Subs on Twitch are basically like, it's like an actual subscription. You like pay a certain amount of money per month to become a sub of the channel. Followers on Twitch are like subs on YouTube where it's free, and then subscribing on Twitch is like a paid, like, I guess, membership type of thing. The next book, Death of the Family, is absolutely incredible. Definitely do it. It's been so good. It's been so good. And I'm glad, I don't want to say any spoilers. I'll just say I'm glad that it went the way it went when I thought it was going a completely different direction halfway through book 2. And I thought they were going to pull some really like gimmicky shit, and they didn't. And I was really happy about that. And then the way that it ends is just awesome. It feels like such a nice reset, the new 52, which obviously that was the attempt. Super good so far. But with new 52 Batman, because of it, like, I heard that it ties into a bunch of other stuff, but you can just read the new 52 volumes and get a complete, like, comprehensive story, right? My mum is showing an interest in your content. Oh no, that's dangerous. Cowdoy, how you going, dude? Welcome, welcome. Oh yeah, we do have a welcome emote. Hell yeah. It doesn't look very good. The text is very fucking small, but we have a welcome emote. Anyway, yeah. The what you call it. It's very good. That comic's real good. I'm a fan. I need to get back around and eventually read what is it called? Last Night on Earth. The only DC comic I've read is the Deceased series. Not really interested in much else. More of a Marvel guy. I think I read some Deceased stuff a while ago. It's probably not the best, like, introduction. I remember one of the first, like, Batman comics that I read when I was a kid was Batman and the Wrath or something, where the Batman in copycat, who's really actually a bad guy, turns up and, like, starts harassing Batman, basically. I don't remember it being bad, but I remember more recently reading over some of it, and, like, I think it's the reason I'm so opposed to, like, and here is the Batman, the mysterious Batman impersonator. I wonder if he has a tie to Bruce Wayne's past. Like, that sort of stuff is just not interesting to me a lot of the time, but, yeah. Before I go, just keep in mind that you have to give Lockie his 25k drawing. Oh, you confirmed that he actually did it? What did he request? Have I watched Batman Beyond? Or am I not into the... Oh, I love the animated stuff. I think some of the animated Batman and DC stuff in general is, like, some of the best stuff that they've made. Under the Red Hood is, like, my third favorite Batman movie, probably. It's just fucking... It's great. Deedin? He requested... Didn't? Need to read more comics? Oh, it did not say. Oh, okay. Next time he's in the chat, he can just let me know, and I'll whip out my artistic abilities real quick. Oh yeah, so I watched a little bit of Batman Beyond when I was a kid. It wasn't the one that I watched a ton. I watched a lot more animated series. I watched a lot more Brave and the Bold, which I can't really remember how good that was. I think that was like a much lighter take on it, which was kind of cool. What other animated stuff? Watched a lot of Teen Titans, Young Justice, that sort of stuff. I never saw too much Beyond, but from what I did see, I remember it being pretty cool. Did anybody play like that old Batman Vengeance game? I think it was like clunky as fucking hell, but it had like a really interesting aesthetic to it. I have seen the Batman twice. Gonna see it a third time, I think. It's such a, like, sick movie to see in the cinemas too. It's very, like, atmospheric. So I want to see it in cinemas again. And that's like the first time I've ever done that. I don't think I've ever watched a movie in cinemas more than once. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, Brave and the Bold. I used to really love the cast of characters you would see in that show. Just so many. Yeah, great show. I love seeing who was... There's an episode, I'm sure there's a couple episodes, but I remember a specific episode where it was like a bunch of Justice League members, but like the lesser known kind of Justice League members. Brave and the Bold was still pretty good. The theme will forever be in my head. Oh yeah, it's iconic stuff. You want to rewatch the Batman? It's a fucking great movie. It's a really great movie. I talked a ton about it the other day, but it's just great. It's just good stuff. I didn't spoil anything that day, I hope. I thought the same thing, Nitro. I thought the first, like, 3/4 of the movie was like a 10. And then on my first watch, towards the end, I thought it dropped off a little bit. And then the very end with that, I'm not going to say, but that, like, it picked it back up. It was, like, sort of hovering a bit. But when I watched it again, I think because I was kind of like seeing it and I sort of I had already sort of seen the story and I was picking out little details. The end is a lot more about a certain thing than I thought it was. And I thought that was really fucking... I thought that was great. Nitro is a higher being. I don't really understand the hate for the third act anymore. The first time I was like, I can sort of see where people are coming from. Oh no, I can't say. There's a certain thing that happens that I thought lowered the stakes a little bit for the third act, and then, but on rewatch, I realized that didn't really matter. It wasn't really the point. The third act was like very much so more of a character-driven part of the movie, rather than like a high tension, high stakes, in like the first sort of the first two portions of the movie. Yeah, people don't like the third act. I think a lot of people saw a couple of critics say that and then latched onto that as like the thing to shit on the movie for. I think it's blown way out of proportion. Didn't have enough quippy one-liners. The traumatized orphan needs to say more funny stuff. You're gonna do a back-to-back with Uncharted? I didn't watch Uncharted. I've never played the game, so that's probably why. When I watched the Batman, I saw a group of 5-year-olds, and I was like, "You should not be here." Yeah, yeah. No, I think they'd be like, "Why is Batman talking so much? Can he go fucking slap somebody in the face already?" It's a good movie. It had extremely good cinematography, but some very weird plot holes that were never filled, even though it had a 3-hour runtime. And I also found some of the lines Catwoman said to be really woke and cringe. And I hate when movie makers bring real life politics into a fictional universe. I'm interested in what plot holes. Obviously, don't want to spoil anything in chat, but I found it to be pretty consistent. Like, on the basis of obviously having suspension of disbelief, because it's a movie about a man in a bat costume beating up criminals in a fictional city. But, I don't know. On 2 watches, I feel like it's pretty consistent. And politics being in movies is just always going to be a thing. Movies reflect the real world, and they might not always reflect the, same beliefs as yours, but the way that I always see it is just like a lot of movies do try to send like a message, but like I always see it as that the individual character is holding that opinion in the story. I don't really care about if the director was intending you to think this or trying to sway you to believe this. I just think that is the opinion of that character, and if it serves the story and how they have acted throughout the movie, then and you know how it's built up that they would believe those things, then it makes sense. I don't get it. People have different political opinions in the real world. Why would they not have it in a movie that's to some degree taking place in the real world? You know what I mean? In the context of the movie. I don't ever understand that. Same with video games as well. It's odd. I think people get uncomfortable because politics is like a touchy subject in some places. I feel like that's just weird. But yeah, I don't know. And in terms of plot holes, I'd be interested, because I'm sure there's something that doesn't make sense, but I didn't catch anything where I was like, they didn't fucking explain that. Pointing at the screen angrily. I was just really, really glad that they seemed to pour their fucking love into every fucking part of that movie. Like, every department, every person who worked on it was just like, we're going all in on this. And you can feel that. It feels very like, it feels very intentional. Like they were really trying to fucking do a good job there. I mean, Catwoman said one political line in a 3-hour movie. I've felt that like there was a couple of dudes my age in the theater when I watched it the second time, and I could just feel the like I knew people would just obviously react badly to that line that she says, but I mean she is, even if you think it's like, oh well, that's just it's like obviously her character would believe that. It's set up for her to have that opinion and view on the world. And it's, I mean, how does it feel that you have more followers than that one character? I think that's the only ridiculous thing in the movie. I think that's the only line of dialogue where I was like, You didn't. It just felt like they were underselling the situation by saying that. But I almost want to say that it was like, I can't. How do I circumvent this without like spoiling something? I almost want to say that it was like on some sketchy website or something. You know what I mean? And not like a mainstream social media. The biggest thing but brought down the score for me wasn't that though, just the plot that didn't make sense on several occasions. I wonder if you could say without spoiling what the part of the plot doesn't make sense. Because I'm genuinely interested. Spoiling humor currently? No. I will not say any spoilers. I'm self-controlling. I'm very interested. Because, like, what is a plot hole to people? Is a plot hole, like... Yeah, they were devout followers. That's what I mean. Like, surely it was... Oh, shit. Never mind. Nothing. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to speak any further. But I wonder what a plot hole is to some people. Like, is it... here is a theoretical movie. Man gets shot in the arm. And he... holds the wound and goes, ow, that really hurt. And then one scene later, he's getting the bullet taken out by his trusty companion. And then in the next scene, they're in a warehouse, you fighting people and punching and shooting and climbing. Like, is that a plot hole to some people? Because I just see that as, I am watching a movie. The character still has to do things, even if they get shot in the arm. You know what I mean? I think I know what you're talking about, actually. And I think... maybe they're talking about all the potholes in Gotham. I think I know what you're talking about. And I don't think that's a plot hole. Because I misinterpreted a part of the movie that I thought it was trying to, like, do when I first watched it. And then I watched it again, I was like, no, that's not what they were... It's not what they were trying to do. I can't say without spoiling. I just sound like a rambling idiot. I'm not even saying that there wouldn't be plot holes, because most movies have at least something where it's like, yeah, that was in service of the story, but it's a movie. As long as it's not like something where it completely takes me out of it, I'm good. Oh, understandable. That would definitely make sense if it's the thing I am thinking of as well. Because even me, who is meant to know this language through and through, was like, wonder what did that mean? If it's the thing that I'm thinking of. Anyway, I'm not spoiling this for people because it's really, really good. Just dripped down my bat chat with $900 Gucci shades. Do you see me bragging about it? No. I see you being completely modest about the bat chat with Gucci shades. God, I was gonna say something, I can't remember. Anyway, suspension of disbelief is a funny thing with movies as well, I think. There's like a line for everybody where things just get too ridiculous, and it obviously depends on the movies. It depends on what movie it is, but there's always a line that it's like, man cannot be shot in arm and use arm next day, is the line for some people. I think the line for me, as long as the movie itself is actually good, is pretty far ahead of that. Because it depends on, obviously, like, if it's a fucking Avengers movie, then yeah, like, a man can pretty much almost be turned to paste and turn up in the next scene, and I'm pretty okay with that, because it's the Avengers movies. I remember, like, I guess it makes sense because he's like a god, but I remember seeing fucking Loki get tossed around by the Hulk in the first Avengers movie. I was seeing that man's bones are the fucking consistency of toothpaste at this point. But that wasn't me, like, poking up a hole in the story where fucking aliens come from another dimension and invade the city or whatever the fuck happened in that movie. Jesus. Yeah, it depends on how the movie presents itself. Exactly. I think consistency is more important. Batman gets hit once in the first 10 minutes. The rest of the movie is just him in the hospital watching the news. It's like that's like some kick-ass shit. Like if the kick-ass movie just ended with old mate getting stabbed and he's like, fuck this shit, dude. This is garbage. I'm gonna die out here. Yeah, I'm really excited for that as well. I think there's like limitless possibilities for what they can do in the sequel. Like consistency in a story is more important to me than like realism. Especially once you delve into like any sort of superhero movie, then you've just got to be kind of ready to just like, you know what I mean? It should have cut to credits the second a character said the Batman. It's too much for me, dude. A superhero name, a secret identity, it's out of the question. Me too, actually. If we're talking on the same wavelength, Tricoa, me too. Maybe for the third. But for the second, I would like to see it be minimal, but we'll see. I know this is a very typical thing to say, but I kind of trust the team that's working on it because, especially Matt Reeves seems to sort of, I think he has more figured out for future movies than what he lets on. I think he's been thinking about it for a while. And I trust it. He seems to like the same things in the Batman sort of framework that I like. And it fucking worked for me the first time around. So as long as he sort of sticks to that vision that he's got, then I'm pretty keen for that. Have I read The Batman Who Laughs? I think around the time that it came out, I read something related to it. I was very, very into like Elseworld stories for a long time. And then I sort of dropped off reading comics altogether and have recently sort of picked it up again. So, but no, I haven't read it in its like entirety or anything like that. It's been an hour already. God damn. Jesus Christ. It's been a lovely chat. You're a lovely chat. Yeah, Mr. Freeze seems to be like a very, very popular villain for a future Batman movie. Probably because we haven't gotten him in a Batman movie for a long time. Is it a crime that I haven't seen the Lego Batman movie? A lot of people say it's like the best animated Batman movie, and I've just never seen it for some reason. Is it a crime? Should I be sent to prison immediately? I actually am pretty keen to watch it. I just never get around to watching movies. Anytime somebody mentions like a really well-known movie to me, I just say, no, I haven't seen it, and they look at me like I just burnt down a fucking orphanage or something. So I need to do some catching up, because that look hurts. Talking and gaming simultaneously, feet, and you want to know what? I lied, because we haven't done a speck of gaming. My prison sentence will be watching it on repeat for 3 years. I'm going to be driven into insanity. I don't know. Oh, I could have said something else just then as well. I'm going to not say that. Hey, air. Never thought to call feet air. Jesus, that's... just doesn't look right. I'm not very good at like a fan casting, I guess. Because it always seems like the best castings are the ones that just come completely out of left field. They just... you know what I mean? Fan castings always, or more often than not, remind me of, you remember Bat in the Sun? Did anybody watch Bat in the Sun? Is that what they're called? And they had that show? Superpower Beatdown? Was that it? Did anybody watch that? Oh, they just do live streams now? Kind of sounds like me. They don't have any of those, like, videos going on like they used to with the, He's Just Like Me, for real. They basically used to do, they were like fan-made shorts where it would be like X character versus X character. So, you know, they did like, and they would always be sort of similar, and it was like people, they were quite well made from what I remember. They would be like, you know, people who look quite a lot like the actual character, and then it would be like a 10-minute video of them fighting to the death, and they had quite a high production value, especially for the time that they were made. Yeah, the most popular ones were like fucking Batman versus Wolverine and shit like that. Did anybody watch that? Batman versus Deadpool got like 25 million views. Jesus Christ. That sort of stuff. Anyway, that's what fan casts usually remind me of. Yeah, it was like a death battle thing. Yeah. So whenever somebody, like, people always fan cast people who look like the similarity to the comic character or something is like too uncanny, so it just looks cheap. So fan casts usually just like, yeah. Like I didn't know Paul Dano. I didn't know like anything about the dude, and I think he played the part of I would never be like, if somebody asked me 5 years ago who should play the Riddler in live action again, and I would never be like, oh, you know Paul Dano, he should play the Riddler, because it's always those like castings that sort of fit what the people are trying to make the movie actually be, that it's more important. I think when things look too comic accurate, it just becomes like sort of cheap looking. You know what I mean? Anyway, have I seen RoboCop? Yeah, RoboCop fucking traumatized me when I was a kid. It does go absolutely raw. It's fucking terrifying, actually, in a way. God, I actually haven't watched it since it scared the shit out of me as a kid. I should rewatch that. Can't wait for Arkham City next week. We should be playing some Arkham City very soon. Apparently there's a Batman multiverse movie in the works that serves as a sequel to 3 of the 90s Batman movies and retconning the existence of George Clooney one. Really? Holy Christ. That sounds like it could quite possibly be like the most convoluted thing ever. We're really in the age where no movie in the past can just like exist without, if the actor is still alive, chances are it's getting a remake or like a continuation. And then once the tech gets good enough, which it's kind of almost there already, no movie will be safe because they'll just recreate them digitally, so it doesn't even matter. It's weird. The more that, I'm not even like a movie purist or anything, but the more that movies feel like just a straight up product, it's like scary. I don't know, because it kind of like reflects everything then. I think not like the more soulless they feel, you know what I mean, where it's just getting made for the sake of being made, and people will definitely watch it because it's part of like a franchise kind of thing. And the idea of like a company like owning a dead actor's likeness and being able to recreate them is scary. Has anybody here seen Fred 2? I watched the Fred movies once upon a time. That's good stuff. That's cinema right there. Can't wait for the Wizard of Oz retcon, Jesus Christ. Okay. It has been an hour and 15 minutes. My editing sense is tingling. There must be at least 1 more minute of footage edited before I sleep for the night. So I'm gonna have to call it here. We didn't play Bloodborne. Nitro was fuming, I'm sure of it. Nobody got to see my mediocre Bloodborne gameplay. My subpar performance. I know it's a shame. But while we might not have gamed, we definitely talked. And that's a beautiful thing. This is quite possible. I actually am cutting it at just about an hour. I'm kind of proud of myself, to be honest. You got scammed. I'm sorry. I didn't expect to ramble for an hour. Oh no, Summer. I'm so sorry. See, Nitro doesn't even have the energy to be mad. Yeah. Okay. I need to go into editing mode. I was gaming off screen. I just forgot to switch screen. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you. Thanks for listening to my epic opinions about things on different things. Thank you very much. Maybe stream tomorrow. Seems I'm doing every second day without realizing it. But if I get around to streaming by the time it hits like 6 or 7 o'clock my time, then I'm good. But we'll see what happens. We have retired from gaming. No, I didn't get the Old Hunters DLC. This is literally the state of my memory. I need to do that. See you later, Summer. Sorry you just jumped in as we are getting done. Alright. Thank you, everybody. There is fun to be had tomorrow, where there will most likely be gaming. Will it be Bloodborne? Will it be Fortnite? I suppose we will just have to find out. Thank you very much for the good luck on editing. I am going to trudge through it as much as I can. And hopefully it turns out okay. But yeah, alright. Thanks, everybody. It's been lovely, as always. And I'll see ya tomorrow. See you later, Nitro. Can we get some get well soons for Nitro real quick? Dealing with the big C.
I have sold my
the big COVIDs.
3 times. I have
Thanks so much, Volatile. That's okay. I'll see you tomorrow, Volatile, hopefully. Thanks so much, dude. Thanks for the 25 bits. See you later, JR Milton. See you later, my better username. See you later, Josh. Oh, hell yeah, that's a Fortnite moment. When will there be a Bloodborne skin in Fortnite? The state of the world, the fact that doesn't exist. Alright, see you later, everybody. Goodbye.